Hello. Good to see you here. My name is Mark Cormier. I'm working with Kathy Cormier, my wife, and I'll be leading her through the movement yoga warm-up, something we can do every single morning, or at least some mornings, just to get your body ready for the day. It starts with some joint work and then a very traditional yoga warm-up, and then you're ready to go. Kathy Cormier, are you ready?
I am ready.
Come on up. Been working without a mat
Yes.
this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
You don't always need a mat to do your yoga. Sometimes it's nice to work on a rug or on a floor, depending on what you're doing. All right. It's a short workout, so
Yes. Get right to it.
nothing too specific. Anything you might want to move towards?
Well, I just noticed that I just feel so good when I have an opportunity to stretch and remember my posture, but so much of our life is, in front of a keyboard or seated or, you know what I mean? And so just practicing when you're communicating, not just being upright and not slouched.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about a standing yoga practice. You can slouch when you stand, but it's less likely.
Yeah,
You have the strength of your legs to support your spine.
that's right.
So let's wake those legs up right off the bat. Hands find the hips. And let's kick it from side to side. Maybe channeling your inner ninja here. Big high kicks. And don't lose your balance. First rule of yoga, do no harm. You don't want to fall down. And from a bigger kick, starting to bring it back towards center. Grounded through both feet as we rock it from side to side. And finding your center. From now, lifting heels, lifting toes, we can start small. And then letting it get bigger. Waking up our feet. Turning on our ankles. Next time those heels are lifted, I'm going to let you hold those heels up. Because you lift up higher. And higher. And higher. Lowering the heels, lifting the toes. Could you lift up higher? And higher. And higher. And then ground it down. Through the heels, ground it down through the toes. Finding our center. From here, let's step one foot forward, one step back. Ground it down through the balls of the toes as we circle our ankle, our knee, and our hip. Inviting in more flow. And taking those circles the other way. Now ground it down through that foot. We'll step the other foot up. Grounding down through the balls of the toes and circling the ankle, the knee, and the hip. And then taking those circles the other way. Stepping that foot back in, we'll stoop down as we cap the knees with our hands. If this is too low, you could always work the tops of the thighs. Inner knees connect as we circle our knees. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. Now coming back up, separating the feet hip-width apart. Hands find the back of the hips, the fingers face down. And starting small, circling our hips. And then letting it get bigger. Inviting in more flow. From a bigger circle, starting to move back towards center. Finding your center, we'll start a small circle the other way. And then letting it get bigger. Bringing it back towards center. And finding your center. Keeping your hips relatively stable, a hand on each shoulder. Starting small as we circle our shoulders. And then letting it get bigger. Whatever you're feeling, breathing into those sensations. using your breath to massage your body from the inside out. Moving back towards our center. And starting small as we take those shoulder circles the other way. And then letting it get bigger. Moving back towards our center. And tall through the crown. As we release the shoulders, hands by your side. 3 ancillary breaths here. Breathing into your ribs, the arms move out, the fingers widen. Exhaling as we scoop low belly in and up. Hands move in, the fingers narrow. 2 more times like this, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now sweeping hands out to the side and then high to the sky. Thumb and forefinger of the right hand catch the left wrist. We can traction that left shoulder. And then keep tractioning as we circle the shoulders one way. We circle the hips the other. Starting small, but then letting it get bigger. Full body stretch. From a bigger circle, we'll start to dial it back in, finding our center. And then thumb and forefinger of the left hand, find the right wrist as you traction that right shoulder. And keep tractioning as we circle the shoulders one way, hips circle the other. Starting small, but then letting it get bigger. From a bigger circle, starting to dial it back in as we move back towards our center. And then finding your center, hands by your side. Let's come out of those shoulders a little bit. Inhaling the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, let it come out through the mouth as we let those shoulders drop. Let's do that a few times. A couple more times. Keeping shoulders heavy, moving towards our sun cell. I want you to stay just as you are for the first set here. We'll take it in 3 pieces, starting with arms and shoulders. Keeping feet nice and wide, inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead. And keeping the hands wide as we exhale, the hands back down. 2 more times like this, wide legs, wide arms. Observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders. As the arms elevate, the shoulders elevate. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. Now I'll ask you to go sideways, Kathy. I'll ask you to narrow your stance. And let's work those arms a little bit narrower as we inhale the arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with the heart as we find a forward fold. Half sun salutation. Take a breath to arc the back. Hands to cap the knees. You could also grab a brick. Exhaling, arching the spine. You could lower the brick or catch the back of the shin. Strong tuck of the chin. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine, strong tuck of the chin. Feel that stretch in the low back. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine, leading with back heart. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more like this. Breathing in, lifting up as we gather up the energy. Exhaling as we offer it out with the forward fold. Take a breath to create length as we arc. And then arching the spine as we fold again. Strong tuck of the chin. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun salutation A. This first one I will not cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine, strong tuck of the chin as you ground down through the hands, stepping one foot back and then the other as you find your down dog. As we hold this first down dog of this practice, I'll invite you to walk your dog strongly as you bend one leg deeply and then the other, grounding down through the opposite heel and moving back and forth between the sides. Checking it out. How does your body feel this morning? What feels tight? What feels right? What feels somewhere in between? From a place of movement, moving back towards relative stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine. Deep, full breath. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting your tailbone just a little bit higher, finding a little more space in the low back, and then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Take a breath to create length when you arrive, arcing the back, arching the spine as we fold. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. This time I will cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine, strong tuck of the chin, keeping the elbows soft as you set up for a push-up. Exhaling, finding that push-up. Feel free to use the knees or not. Either coming all the way down, hips stay down as you pull back into a cobra, or lifting the hips up as you find your up dog. And then either using the knees or back over the toes as you find your down dog and hold. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Either holding your down dog in stillness or again, walking your dog, stirring it up. Seeing what might arise. Again, what feels tight, what feels right, what feels somewhere in between. From a place of movement back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you look between the hands. And either stepping or maybe taking a jump to the front of your mat. Or not. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as we fold. Inhaling, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one Sun Sal B, flow style. An extra breath in the opening sequence. Inhaling into tall spine. Keeping tall spine, finding your chair. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to create length as you arc the back. And then arching the spine, strong tuck of the chin as you ground down through the hands. Yeah, try to keep the elbows soft the whole time if you can, as you find your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend. And then exhaling back to down dog. From down dog, flow style. Feet together, right leg high for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes as we stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, flexing that foot, sweeping it on through. Landing it lightly as we spin the back heel down. Back leg long, back leg strong, warrior one. And then from warrior one, on your next exhale, spinning the palms out, finding low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will, either stretching straight back or choosing to cycle through vinyasa, yogi's choice. Second side, feet together, left leg high, high on the right toes, stretching out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as you sweep it on through. landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, warrior one. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge, and from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Deep full breath. As we hold down dog, coming back to Samarviti. Same breath, long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump to the front of your back. Take a breath to create length in your body. Keeping that length as we fold. On the inhale, stay low. Knees over toes, hands overhead, chair pose. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, neutral spine. As we stand tall, I'll ask you to face camera, Kathy. Hands find the heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger. Relax shoulders, a soft tuck of the chin. Watching as your breath flows in. And watching as your breath flows out. Lifting the chin tall through the crown. I'll invite you to roll your hands over as you bring your hands by your side. From here, I'll invite you to jump it in thin like a pin. Now jump it out wide like a house. Hands find the hips as we rock it into goddess squat. Once we find our half squat, elbows find the inner thighs, a press of the palms as we swing those hips from side to side. Now coming back center, finding your cactus arms. Straightening the legs as we stretch those hands high. Exhaling back to our squat and cactus arms. And let's do that a few times. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Up. And down. Let's do two more. Breathing it up. Exhale it down. Breathing it up. Exhale it down and hold. And then I'll invite you to step or jump your feet back in. Thin like a pin. Hands by your side. I'll invite you to find a lotus flower at your heart. Heels of the hands connect as do thumb and little finger. A soft tuck of the chin. Admiring your lotus. The lotus is a yoga symbol. It floats on the surface of a pond. Its root goes down through the water and into the mud below. So we've got the rooting of that root into the mud, up through the water, onto the surface of the pond, and that flower faces the sun. I'll invite you to lift your lotus from heart to the sky, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up towards that lotus, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Turning your lotus into a press of the palms. I'll invite you to tap your forehead. Good thoughts. I'll invite you to tap your lips. Good words. I'll invite you to tap your heart. Good actions. And then lifting the chin tall through the crown as you roll your hands over. I'll invite you to take a bow, thanking yourself for your hard work this morning. And then back up. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, Kathy, for working with me on our movement yoga warm-up.
Thank you so much, Mark. I loved it. It was the perfect amount of time.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
And namaste. Have a nice day.
Namaste.
We'll see y'all soon.
See you soon. Thank you.